So you asked in what ways do I think that Cesar Chavez has paved the way for people like me? Well, growing up at a time where Proposition 187 was on the ballot, which was a measure by Governor Pete Wilson to ban basic rights to undocumented residents in California. And growing up in an era where there was an intense amount of negativity towards Latinos and immigrants, I was looking for a brown role model. And as the son and grandson of farm workers and hearing about the struggles that my dad and my grandfather experienced working in the fields and living in the labor camps really inspired me to get involved and to really model my life after Cesar's commitment to nonviolence and to fighting for social justice and social change. And he showed that one person can make a difference, one person can lead a movement to create justice and equity for some of the most oppressed people in our society, and that inspires me. It inspires me that we can stand up to powerful interests and we can bring about meaningful change. And so that has led me in my life in public service and continue to inspire me to this day. You asked what it means to be the Grand Marshal in today's parade. It's an honor. I got my start in political activism working in the farm workers movement and helping name a street after Cesar Chavez here in San Francisco. And so as somebody who's been a long time volunteer and advocate with the United Farm Workers, it really means a lot to me to be Grand Marshal. And I joined some illustrious figures, Nancy Pelosi and Barbara Lee. So, I had, learned about Cesar Chavez at a young age and got involved in the farm workers movement. And so when I heard that there was an effort in San Francisco to name a street after Cesar Chavez, I wanted to get involved. And so I came to a meeting at the Board of Supervisors at City Hall to speak in favor of the street renaming. And apparently, it's the first time I ever spoke in public, apparently the word had gone out that there wouldn't be a vote on this issue at that meeting, and so a lot of the supporters didn't show up, and so it was just 3 of us there to support Cesar Chavez Street and 40 angry neighbors who were against renaming the street, and they said very racist things and really were just opposed to the idea of a naming street after a brown leader, and that the very racist, hateful things that they said to a 9-year-old kid at speaking at his first public meeting just made me more angry and made me more inspired and motivated to fight to name a street after Cesar Chavez. So it was a long campaign. We eventually got the street renamed, and then it's there to this day. And it is, I think, a lasting symbol of what Cesar Chavez means, not just to Latinos, but to all people. You asked, as a Latino, what responsibilities do I feel for the Latino community? Enormous responsibility. I think I'm one of the only Latino mayors in the Bay Area at a time where, like I said, we have a president who is a war against immigrants and communities of color, and is passing illegal and unjust laws to against sanctuary cities like the city of Berkeley, and against Muslims, against Latinos, against people of color. And I think now more than ever, it's important that we have brown leaders and leaders of color and people that are speaking out against the unjust and illegal things being done by our president, and who are pushing for the needs of Latinos, not just for our immigrants. And as the son and grandson of farm workers, and hearing of the struggles of my father and my grandfather working in the fields inspired me at a young age to get involved and to join the movement for farm workers' rights, to work to name a street in San Francisco after Cesar Chavez, which the street's here to this day, and to model my life after his commitment to nonviolent social change. And now more than ever, we need to continue the struggle that Cesar started. And if Cesar was here today, he would say, not just organize, but resist against the Trump administration. So we need to continue the struggle against not only an unjust administration who is trying to demonize immigrants, to try to separate families, to try to divide communities, but we need to continue the struggle for basic rights and dignity for farm workers. So let's continue the struggle. Si se puede, and viva Cesar Chavez.